Good morning, Stampers. My name is Lori Krause. I'd like to share a quick, easy kid card with you in my favorite color, Blackberry Bliss. So let's get started. Here's the project we're going to make today. Really cute, really simple, just nice, clean, straight lines, nice, easy layers. So what I've done first is I've had a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and my card base is cut 8.5 by 5.5, and I've scored that at the 4 1/4 on the 8.5 side. And I scored that on my paper trimmer from Stampin' Up. I like to use a bone folder, that way I get a nice crisp edge and nobody can read my card if it's laying on a table. My next layer that I'm going to be using is Blackberry Bliss, and I've cut that to 5 1/4 by 4, and then another sheet of white, and that's going to be 5 by 3 3/4, and then I have a small piece of DSP. This is from the DSP stack, and also in Blackberry Bliss, and that is cut 1.5 inches by 3 3/4 inches, and I'll put a little piece of paper up in a little bit with those dimensions on there again for you. I'm going to be using the stamp set Zoo Babies, and yes, my stamps are well loved. They get a lot of use. And we're also going to use the stamp set Just Saying, and we're going to use some rhinestones. It's a really simple card you can make in just a couple of minutes. Now, I do have one little tip to share with you. A lot of times these stamps that have a lot of rubber, they're very bold images, sometimes they don't ink up the way you and I think they should. Easy fixed. Get a nice little emery board and just kind of rough up your image and do that to the entire image. Wash it off, and then you'll be amazed at how well it inks up the next time you use it. So, what I've done is I always like to start with my layer that I'll be stamping on and embellishing. So, I'm going to use some snail, and little goes a long way with this new snail. It's so sticky. I just love it. I haven't really mastered the fast fuse yet, so I'll keep working with that. So I've added my layer of Designer Series paper, and I'm going to stamp my elephant first. And if you haven't used the new firm foam pads yet, they are awesome. They work really, really well with the bold images. So there's my elephant. And there is a learning curve with those new ink pads. You kind of have to tap, tap, tap. You can't smush, 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 or you'll have a mess. So there's my greeting. Give it just a minute to dry. Sometimes on our Whisper White, if you don't give it just a minute to dry, you end up with just a little bit of a smear, and I don't really like that. Now, I like to take my rhinestones and cut the sheets apart, and then I put them in these little bitty boxes that we used to get our stamps in. So we're going to be using the small rhinestones and the medium rhinestones for this project. I take a paper piercer, and this is an old one from Stampin' Up. They have a new one that matches the stylus, which they're really, really nice. Now, when you're getting these rhinestones off there, you really need to get right underneath them and get into the little glue dot that's under there, and then it picks right up, and then you can place it exactly where you want to place it. Makes it super easy. I've tried several ways to do rhinestones. I've tried scissors and all kinds of things, but this works best for me. And again, you should do whatever works best for you. So I'm going to use a small rhinestone for these two, and then I'll use a medium rhinestone for those next two little thought dots, just to give it a little bit of bling. Love bling. And then again, a little bit of snail. Center my project. These layers are just a 1/4 inch different when I cut them, which makes them really easy to layer. Some of my customers like to use dimensionals and pop things up. I do too. This time we're not doing that. It's a nice easy card. This will be a straight 50 center to mail, so that's always nice. I spend a lot of postage sending cards that cost 70 cents or more to mail. So there's our finished project. Really, really easy. Again, here is the card base at 5.5 by 8.5. The blackberry layer was 5 1/4 by 4. The white layer was 5 by 3 3/4, and the DSP was 3 3/4 by 1.5. Super easy. And if you need to know the supplies that we used today, we used Whisper White cardstock, blackberry cardstock, blackberry ink, the Zoo Baby stamp set, the Just Saying stamp set, the jewel rhinestones, a paper piercer, a bone folder, and I love to stamp on grid paper. It keeps my surface nice and clean. Stop back by. I'm going to be doing lots of videos for you and sharing what I know and what I love. Thanks. Bye.